Hey guys, Barros and Ramos, and this is the Week 2 preview for the Miami Dolphins hosting the New England Patriots. The Dolphins have their home opener in Week 2 against the Pats here, a familiar foe in the AFC-East division. And both teams are 0-1, so should be interesting. Someone is going to get their first win, or you can walk away with both teams being 0-1-1 if a tie ends up happening, which I don't think ties will ever remotely ever so happen. Like, it's very, very rare in the NFL. But it's happened over the past couple of years. But let's get into this matchup. So this game will kick off at 1 p.m. on CBS, and the game will be hosted at Hard Rock Stadium. Game time weather is looking like 86 degrees, partially thunderstorms and stuff like that. So expect delays, just like what happened today with the Miami Hurricanes game against USF. But yeah, should be all good for kickoff. Let's see how it is throughout the game. Aside from that, the Miami Dolphins had a massive letdown in Week 1 against the Colts, losing 8-33 in a game where they could not get a stop. They literally did not stop the Colts a single time. They had it one time. Matthew, we gotta work on those special team drills. Aside from that, the Patriots had a very close game with the Las Vegas Raiders, and they didn't come out on top. And it's tough to say because the Patriots actually put up decent numbers. They didn't put up a lot of points. Drake May did throw a touchdown, but also an interception. So you can take those into account on why that may be the case. But in last week's game, Tua had 2 interceptions and then also a fumble loss that was recovered by Xavier Howard, of all people. So that's something interesting to see. As far as the history goes, Tua is 7-0 against New England Patriots, but he is also 0-2 against Mike Vrabel coach team. So those are things to consider in reality. You cannot have movable object, unstoppable force collide. What happens? So something's got to give there. Either Tua's going to get a win against Mike Vrabel and continue being undefeated against the Patriots, or he's going to lose finally to the Patriots and still be winless against Mike Vrabel. That's kind of how the tale is going to go. Let's talk about some injuries. I'm not going to dive super deep into opposing teams' injuries this season, but I will talk about anything that's relevant to the upcoming matchups. So right now for the Patriots, we have Keon White, defensive end. He's out with an illness. Christian Gonzalez, cornerback, is out with a hamstring injury. And then Marte Mapu, linebacker, is questionable. Same thing for offensive tackle Morgan Moses. And then they have some significant preseason injuries, but nothing right now is standing out to me in terms of who's in and who's out. But big news for Miami Dolphins. Austin Jackson, offensive guard, is on injured reserve with a toe injury. Won't see him for the next couple of weeks, maybe I would say the next 4 weeks. Storm Duck, cornerback, is out with an ankle injury. Suffered a really bad ankle roll against the Colts. He was making a tackle. Ankle kind of got rolled up on like that. It looked really gruesome in time, but hopefully his injury progression works out well because that is a position the Dolphins are very thin at. Moving on, we have Ashton Davis, safety, is questionable for knee injury. Jalen Wright, running back, is doubtful with a knee injury. Ethan Bonner, cornerback, is doubtful. Benito Jones, defensive tackle, is out with an oblique injury. And Darren Waller, tight end, is out with his hip injury. To add on to that, James Daniels, offensive guard, got placed on injured reserve with a pectoral injury. That was against the Colts. And then that's pretty much it in terms of updating from where we were previously at with injuries heading into that Colts game. So this was a tough one for the Miami Dolphins. Let's talk about some of the gambling odds, and then we're going to talk about how the Miami Dolphins can win or possibly lose the game. We just don't know really this season. Let's see how it goes. In terms of the spread, the Dolphins are favored by 1.5, and then over-under is set at 43.5, and then Dolphins are favored at -130 on money line. Meanwhile, the Patriots are the underdogs at +110. So really close lines there for the Miami Dolphins and the Patriots. They're giving the Patriots a little bit more of the edge in terms of giving them points and so on and so forth. Typically, the home team minimum gets 3 points at home. So really short numbers there, really favoring the Patriots. So let's see how things roll there. If you're a gambler, you're probably going to want to put some money that's at least like on the spread or something for the Patriots. Anyways, both teams are 0-1, so someone's going to get a win today. Or or we could end with a tie. So that would be interesting. So here are some keys to victory for the Miami Dolphins. They need to be very clean with the football. Literally any turnover will dismantle this team. So no turnovers is the number one objective. That was a crucial, back-breaking moments of last week's game against the Colts. The 2 interceptions, the fumble lost by Tua. It's just, you cannot have that, especially when you're already having questions at the secondary position in your defense, and you're having them on the field the entire game. People start going down. Things start looking even worse and worse for that team. So be efficient with the football. Don't have any turnovers. All right, so second key to business is on the defensive side of the ball. Get to Drake May. He's a young quarterback. He's developing well, and he's coming into the season as one of the highly touted younger quarterbacks in the league. You know, there is those Jaden Daniels and so on and so forth, but you saw what happened in Green Bay this past Thursday. Did not perform too well. So the Dolphins need to get that pass rush going and getting big time pressure on Drake May and this New England Patriots offensive line. So pressure needs to be prevalent in there because it's going to help compensate for the lack of depth / skill, whatever the case may be, in the secondary position. Last but not least, they just need to go on ball out. I understand, I said in the first part, don't have any turnovers. But now you have to throw into the fact that they need to take chances and kind of be a little reckless with the football. Now, you have to put the ball in positions somewhere that it could possibly be up for grabs for the defense. But at the end of the day, they need big-time offensive performance to kind of right the wrongs of last week. Because otherwise, everyone's still going to have their doubts. Everyone's still going to have in their minds that the Dolphins cannot be offensively well as a unit. And there shouldn't be any reason to. You have Achane, you have Tyreek, you have Waddle, and cap it off, you have Ollie Gordon. I think those guys as a unit will be very good to, make sure those are the 4 key contributors in the skill positions. So make sure those 4 guys are heavily involved in the game plan. I know Waddle got a little banged up, but he's not listed on the injury report here, so that's looking good. Throughout the week, he was looking a little more questionable, but he's out of it. Protect the football, get to the quarterback, and get your skill position players going and going off. All right? That's pretty much it. Quick preview. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys after the game.